Hi, good night, and welcome to Bench Talk. My name is Jason Clark, and tonight I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Clint St. Hill and Mr. Akim Nero. How the guys doing now tonight?
Pretty good. What about you?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain. Everything is pretty cool on my end, man.
We're
Everything is
enjoying
good
life in the
on
tropics, man.
my end. Good to hear. Good to hear. What, Nero? You know what? I
Don't
got.
do it, Jess. Just don't do it.
It
Jess,
was,
I
it
was
was,
there. I was there with him actually. Don't do it. I was there with him. He had a horrible night, Jess. But I mean, I guess you too.
I had
But
a horrible night too. That's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly, I wish I was there to text somebody he offering.
Shh.
Like
It
I
was.
couldn't
It wasn't
imagine.
easy.
I couldn't imagine how it was in rough for you, boy. That's the truth. I've been talking about basketball finals by the way.
Um,
Just by second half, the man he did not drive. He got it right there. By second half, the man was looking to call an Uber, man. Looking to call an Uber. The man just needed to get out of there, man.
Yeah, that's Nero for sure. If I know for sure. If Nero and in that context too, I
Yeah.
know if he'd drive Nero would be gone by mid third half. Sorry, yeah, for sorry, by mid third quarter for sure.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
sure.
And the people that were around him weren't helping the situation either. So
Jeez, I could only imagine. I could only imagine. What you thought about the finals on Nero?
um, Kano to inexperience and versus experience. That's all I can put it down to, boy. That's all I can put it down to. The Warriors been there, done that.
Yeah.
Celtics were, and kudos to Andrew Wiggins and his team. Kudos to the Golden State Warriors.
Ah,
Yeah, well done.
Clint, why
Everything.
I know I know what it must be
Yeah.
more than the road boy.
Just the whole night, the man saying that this Wiggins team, man, Wiggins MVP, man.
I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine.
We had a good time.
Yeah. I could. Nice, Nero boy. I wish I was there to text him and heat off here, boy. That's the truth. I know it was you against the world there, boy. That's the truth.
Hey, customer.
Well, fellas, we just had the conclusion of the first Test match, West Indies versus Bangladesh, and saw West Indies winning in pretty convincing still, to be honest, won by comfortable 7 wickets. Yeah, Kraigg Brathwaite, leading from the front as most of us, I should say. I don't want to take credit, but yeah, most of us, you know, saw this coming, and we predicted that Kraigg would score heavily in this series, and he definitely started off that way. And I do believe he's going to continue that vein of form into this second test. We also saw John Campbell getting a half century finally in the second innings as well, and that was pleasing. That was pleasing to me for sure. Some of the bright spots I saw is Zari bowling pretty good as well, getting some wickets in both innings. But first off, fellas, let me just break down the test match. Like I said, the West Indies won pretty convincing still. What were the positives that you all saw, and what was the key to West Indies winning that first match?
If you're for ball, you go.
Yeah, you could go.
Yeah. Middle for me, let me just start by saying congrats to the West Indies winning the first test. I don't want to sound too critical, too harsh, or anything, but for me, especially after the first day, because although Bangladesh got some fairly good names on paper, the Shakib, Mominal, those guys, I still think West Indies is going to be too much in these conditions for Bangladesh. So for me, looking at the performance, right? And I think after that first day, the West Indies, due to certain factors, probably just because after what was the West Indies batted 15 over 15 runs. So yes, we're looking at the whole game. West Indies won within early on the fourth day. But holistically, seeing that Bangladesh would not be a challenge for the West Indies in these conditions, I would just like to see a more holistic performance that you can say, well, this is a West Indies brand for now against this type of opposition. But with that being said, because West Indies only scored about 2 points in the first innings, 2 point something for the whole first innings. You understand? Still made only 200. They didn't even make 300. So, but with that being said, well played to Kraigg. That 94 was in the end very crucial. Very, very, very crucial. Um, Blackwood doing what Blackwood does, getting the score. Um, well, ball to Azari. I know he's been under some stick for the last couple, but Pierce is up and he's doing what he had to do. Calmier's man with the golden arm. After Roach and Seals put on the ball, Calmier's there's no rest. Before, after West Indies first change, we'll have a rest period. But with Kyle there now, coming off first change or whatever the case is, there's no rest because he's getting those crucial wickets in there. Second innings had a bit of a partnership, but once again, the West Indian legend, he stepped up to the plate. And Roach, doing Roach things, brought the partnership, second the ball, got a fight for Azari assisted, and from there it was supposed to be easy sailings, but it lost three quick wickets, and that could have gone haywire. But they finally got to the total, albeit on the fourth day with Blackwood and Campbell.
Campbell.
So kudos to the West Indies. They won the series. Basically, I don't think even if the two series were the draw,
Yeah, you were still retained. Yeah,
they were retained. So, but for me, well done to win. But against this opposition at home, we're looking at performance, and I just think we still got a bit of a negative something in there, something from the English series where we're seeing the majority batting was just the difference between batting time and they just bat, and and they find these men just looking to bat and not get the scoreboard moving. But hopefully in time that can improve.
I just wanna before I get into the nitty gritty, obviously shout out Kimar. I think Kimar is now level with Michael Holding. I believe. He's now level with him. So congratulations to him. Obviously he will surpass that milestone in the next test. Big shout out to him. Kimar has been phenomenal for the West Indies in the last 5 years or so, I would say. Shout out to him for sure. Congratulations on the win. Win is a win. Like Nero said, there will always be things that you could pick out in the performance. I believe that West Indies, we obviously have a batting plan, and our plan is to take as much time out of the game as possible. I guess that could be frustrating. Like Nero said, I guess against Bangladesh, you would probably like to see us be a little bit more positive. Not that you're going out there to play a shorter ball. But I reckon that this is obviously instructions, is obviously game plan. I guess it's worked up to this point. But not to say that we should accept this indefinitely. I would like to see, obviously, as our batters mature some more, that we can probably evolve from this plan to be a little bit more aggressive, see West Indies chase runs on the last day of a game or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, all in all, like you said, Kraigg started the game well there. With his 90 yard, disappointing not to convert that into 100, but so it goes. Crucial knots there. John repaying the faith of being selected. That was, I'm sure his position was something that a lot of people would have been looking at before this series, especially with Tej Ryan getting the runs that he got in for his fast wicket. John would have been under quite a bit of pressure. So for him, in that situation there, to make sure that West Indies gets over the line, even though we had a bit of a slide in the second innings, was good. Blackwood as well, with a score. I would say decent all round team performance, but we need to win this series 2-love. And make sure we win the second test in St. Lucia.
Well, I don't think both of you weren't on the show. You were on the show last week, neither, correct?
No.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about One of these second test, like what Clay, you just said that we should win 2-love, so I assume that you are, foreseeing a 2-love series win for the West Indies.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think that we probably should play unchanged 11, no injuries that I can think about, and nobody did anything that I think deserve, losing their place. So unchanged 11, and pound for pound, I think we better than Bangladesh in most departments, probably except the spinning department. But um, yeah, I don't see why over 4 to 5 days we not beating them. So
Nero, what about you? How you see this second test going?
More of the same. Barring rain, more of the same. Only person I really didn't get to see as much as I would like was Morty. Obviously, the game he wasn't required in this game, but I probably actually wouldn't even mind if he's not required in the second game. But at some point, you're gonna need the spinners. So Morty, that's one person I'd like to see. But all in all, once again, West Indies should win, but it's just performance. It's just how did we go about winning? Because yes, it's one thing to bat and try to take time with the game. I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, most opposition West Indian play will be better than them. So it's one. Those guys can bowl Jaffers. So we gotta go Australia. So you can't go Australia just look to bat 90 overs really and truly because here's the one start coming and those guys got big balls in the hand regularly. So you're gonna play some sort of batsmanship, get the scoreboard moving. But for right now, I guess it is what it is, and I would just like to see an improved performance.
what I would like to see in this second test though, from the batting unit, I never really fear for our bowlers, especially at home, but for the batting unit to put together a complete performance. Like I find you have instances, excuse me, you have instances where Kraigg scores runs, or when Kraigg wasn't scoring runs, it was Bonner getting runs. Um, can we get? I mean, obviously, I get all 6 men scoring 50 and up, but can we get at least three guys per innings tabbing at the same time? For years, no, is always a case where even going back to when Stray and Roston winning team, Roston would get 100, and nobody else around him really scoring runs. It's just him. Like we're not getting complete batting performances. So when somebody hot, that's it. As
Yeah,
opposed to the unit putting together performances, because that would be an indicator, not the only indicator, but an indicator of Destiny starting to become a strong team. You see it with the other teams around the world. But it's almost like, yeah, all right, this series is Kraig's series, and the series before that would have been Rawson's series,
Roston.
or the series before that, Shea in England with the twin. So, like, let me get some complete batting unit performances going on in this second test here against a team that we should be doing it against. So that's what I would
I
like to
get,
see.
in the perfect world, I guess we would say, okay, Craig battled the session with John Campbell becoming more aggressive in his innings. Then the 3-4 go through the gears with batsmanship, probably
Right.
striking at 75, 80. And then Blackwood and Kyle.
Well, not saying
That's it.
580, not in that test period, but
Well, two with Bonada Campbell,
right.
65, 70. And then with Blackwood and Kyle accelerate, and
Yeah.
but that's not. I would love that to be the blueprint.
On paper, it
What?
looks on
Yeah,
paper
on
it makes sense. Yeah,
paper,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it's supposed to be, but
yeah.
that's not what we're getting. It's more of a the first four just looking to back. Kind of Blackwood. If they don't accelerate, then the silver can just back.
Yeah.
So
It'll be interesting what role Carl has been given in this team, because I would really hope that he's allowed to play freely. I have no inside knowledge, but I sometimes I don't really catch that way. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would like that he's given a free role to. He's intelligent enough, so he ain't going and be swiping. But for him to play in a positive fashion, because as I've said for the last couple of months, last couple of months, there's room for that type of player in every single test side. So yeah, he can be a very crucial man to dig you out of a hole, or to um, rub more salt in the wounds
Can't
depending on
have
the
the
game
cap.
situation.
Can't have the cap. How you cap those other players? Can't
Yeah,
have it.
nah, just let him be free, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, I agree with you guys are saying there. And that has been the major thing for West Indies as you guys said for a long time. Is the consistency. We never had a a group of guys performing consistently. A high level. You always get a one here and one there, and never a full team performance. But I just said, you're playing against a team in Bangladesh that you should, not you should, you are in this particular instance, the superior team, and you're playing at home. You're coming off a comfortable win in the first test. You should try to, as you say, Clay, you should try to band together some good, consistent performances. Really try to, um, win this second test match in pretty convincing, pretty convincing still again. So hopefully we can see that. Nero, you mentioned earlier Azari bowling, pretty good. His pace seems to be. I mean, to me, he never really lacked the pace, to be honest. But bowling good areas. As you said, this is I know for sure on this show, Azari is really gets some stick for sure. So when someone performs, we definitely have to give them credit the same way. So, what did the guys think about Azari's bowling performance in his first test match?
I gonna call a spade a spade. You know? But he's been great in this last test match and even some ODIs before in the last couple months. We are very harsh on him when he doesn't perform. We say he leaks. He goes at 5, 6 and over after Seals, Roach, or Jason or whatever get the early wickets. And he used to release the pressure, but so far he has been the enforcer there in the middle overs. He and Kyle there. So and that's what we've been looking for him for. Some guys hit the ground running, and some guys take a bit more time to get into their own. And I guess that is the case with Azari. He has all the tools, the height, the pace, the skill, but it's just for him to produce. Yes, he still hasn't gotten that elusive 5 wicket haul. Person say
hmm.
this and that, the fourfer. But in time, especially without Shannon and Jason for the time being, we have to work with Azari. And he's producing the first test, and hopefully he's producing the second test.
Yeah, much improved performance from Azari. Like Nira said, Azari has pretty decent skill set. Um, I would one of my criticisms of Azari over the years would have been his length in Test cricket. In ODIs, that hard length is fine. Um, that's very difficult for batters to score against in ODI and T20 cricket. But if you look at the guys that have been successful for West Indies and around the world in terms of bowling, they bowl a fuller length. Seals came straight into the team. What the Seals do? Pitch the ball up. Kimar Roach, what does he do? Pitch the ball up. So you're gonna get wickets once you bowl that fuller length. Azari, for large parts was back there, back there, back there. So I'm sure his wickets in this test match that have just gone, um, from all that I can remember seeing, would have been pitched up deliveries.
Wow.
And the boundaries that he would have conceded would have been balls that are back there, in the pitch that a lot easier for the men to score against, and probably badly lined as well too. So um, hopefully, he can back that out in the second test. He's a crucial man, like Nero said, with Jason being absent, and Shannon not being there. He's one of the quicker guys, or probably quickest guy there on shore. So against these teams from the subcontinent, he has a major role to play. So yeah, hopefully he can back it up and hopefully get 5 in his second test. That will do his confidence really good.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely there's confidence in where Um and still sticking on the West Indies for now. The 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 number three position, we've been kind of floating wrong with various players for this position. For the past number of series, we haven't really had a consistent number three batter for the past. I don't even know however long. Um, But now we have Raymond there who deservedly has gotten the opportunity. And like I said, rightfully so. But are we a little concerned about this number three position at the moment? Uh, or how are we feeling about this number three position? The number three position, is a very very crucial, very important position in any form of cricket. If you're talking Test cricket, you're looking at a number three, number four batsman is usually the best, the best batsman in the team. So are we getting a little concerned about this position in the West Indies team at the moment?
For me, this has been an ongoing issue. For probably from the time we started watching cricket, to be honest. We have not really had. Well, sorry, I like Sarwan when he would have been batting at three. I guess would have been. I guess Sarwan is definitely world class.
Definitely.
But since I would probably say since Sarwan's retirement, we've
Leroy
not
Love
had
did that.
what.
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
Anyways,
Continue.
yeah. So since Sarwan's retirement, I think we would have been struggling big time for number three. I don't think when I look around regional cricket, I don't see two men that I genuinely think are solid number three batters. When you look at the number three batters around the world, Labuschagne batting three for Australia, Pujara in previous times batting three for India. Well, let me not talk about England, but but I mean, I guess it was been at one point until he said he was batting at four. But like you said, usually is a very solid man or the best batter in the team. When I look on regional cricket, I don't see any number threes. I don't think that Shamar Brooks is a number three. That's just me. Brooks is more, in my opinion, a 5-6, maybe a 4 or 5-6, but three is it was always a little high for me. No, seriously, from inception, Carl Hope, Shea Hope, same thing. I think we have a lot of fours. Generally, I think we have a lot of fours, a lot of fives, a lot of sixes. Raymond was given an opportunity this season for Barbados to bat at three. I think he batted at four maybe on one occasion. I think that's when Brooks came back in the side, probably for the second game. So he's been up there a lot higher than he would have been for the past, for his entire first class career. I think that he batted relatively well. It's unfortunate he didn't convert any of those half centuries into hundreds. But I thought that he genuinely batted well this first class season when he was at three and at four. Given the opportunity, yes, he didn't tab, but for people literally after one innings, they even get his second is one innings. Man, who this market buying at three, this nasty third, Raymond's is number 7, blah blah blah. People going on since when we don't give people an opportunity.
Yeah, you gotta give people
Since when we don't give people an opportunity, even if Raymond had to play the second test and not score runs, you willing to discard a man after 4 games batting in that position? I just think that was a little harsh to me. So I really hope that he's given a run. When I say a run, I'm not saying we'll play the man for a year if you're not scoring runs, but I think that he should be at least afforded 2 series. Because we could drop Raymond and then play who you jump him back into Burtstone. You jump back to Burtstone or then you can play no Devon Thomas now to bat at 3. So like it's not like somebody is kicking down the door to bat at 3 for West Indies. I think he can be afforded at least this series, and I believe Australia is next in that position, as opposed to us after one game looking to Dundee, man.
He's in a similar position to Shea a couple years back, because sometimes you gotta get him where you're getting. So
correct.
He can't pick and choose right now. So if number 3 is the spot that is available, he has to do it. But for me, I find in this current setup some of the guys that so Bonner would have gotten in. He set up. Bonner would have scored hundreds at number 3.
Hmm.
Bonner get a lash on his head. Bonner gone to number 4. So it's like why Bonner can't be at number 3 still?
Mhm.
You understand?
Nero, he last year he can't run you
I
on
ain't saying
stage,
no,
though.
but I'm just saying with a little coming to the team. You got that 100, so no, it's like you
He's
have
the
the
ideal man to
leeway.
bat that tree. He's
You
the
it's
ideal
like
man to bat
all
that
of a
Me.
tree.
sudden you got the leeway to decide, well, yeah, I going down. But for me, Bonner is either you gonna have the classical batsman, which will be Brooks type, or the man that can bat along Pujara, which is like a Bonner. So Bonner doesn't look to score. So for me in the West Indian makeup, he will be the number 3. You go
He
there,
should be.
left out your balls, do whatever you gotta do, kill that time, see off your new ball. He will be the LD number 3 for me. But in the case of Raymond, um, his play or time for running the team is long overdue.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it comes in this scenario where it has to be number 3, even this series, and then looking forward to Australia series. That is not going to be an easy series neither. So that's the hand he's been dealt. So he either has to grab the opportunity or because Blackwood is moving from the at 5. If Cuz playing, Cuz not going to move from 6, and then Jason come back at 7. So the only spot available right now is number 3. And if
But
Raymond has ambitions of doing it, I agree that a team should not be made up like that. But this is West Indies cricket, and that's how it is. You
but
understand?
that,
So he's gonna have to do that for
but
the
that,
time
that
being.
that's sad, Nero. That's sad that in 2022, that we are still finding ourselves in positions like these, where you have a man in Raymond Reefer that work hard, work his tail off, no doubt about it, and deserves every opportunity, just like anybody else, to play at the highest level. Definitely deserve it, and I'm very glad that he got the opportunity. And I hope, as Clint say, and as Neil say too, he gets another run in Australia despite what happens in um this second test match against Bangladesh. But we have a guy who has not batted in this position for an extended period of time. Yes, he's batting the other day and he scores some hard touches. Yes, but he's a cricketer. He's a hard worker. So he's gonna put in the work. But like I said, he has not batted in this position for extended period of time. And now we train him. I mean, playing at the cricket at the highest level, and we putting him in there, and we expect him to perform. And let's just say he doesn't perform though, and then we're gonna drop him, and then we can just forget about him. And that's what's happening with the West Indies all the
Can't do
time.
that. You
And it,
can't
to
do
me,
that.
is madness.
I
That would
saw
be
this.
horrible.
It
I
is
saw this coming.
madness.
For the time I see Raymond bat a 3 for Barbados, I say somebody whisper to him, Raymond, it's time. Because Raymond can dominate. Raymond can score cricket in original cricket. So
He
once
can
he bat
score.
that 3,
He can
he
score.
can score runs there. And the only one thing that's gonna happen, he gonna get there. And
Yeah,
it ain't that long. That was only January.
yeah.
6
Yeah,
months
it's
later, any team at 3.
just I will go. I am prepared to be wrong on this, but I genuinely I got a lot of time for Raymond. All right, a lot of time for Raymond. I genuinely think if there's one person that could get it figured out, that got the mentality to do it, that
Yeah.
got the fight, that got the
You were,
guts, that
you were,
I can categorically tell you that it is him. If there's one person that gonna at least tough it out.
yeah.
So he's not a soft person. He's a very hard, tough individual. And I would just like that he's given the opportunity. 4 innings should not define his career and see his fate. So I really hope for his sake that he cuts out a score in one of these innings to release some of that pressure. Well, provided that he does play it, to release some of that pressure. Although there should be no pressure because when you managing people too, I once again I'm not privy to what's happening behind closed doors. But for me, a guy comes into a team in that position, fresh, fresh into that position, I tell that man, listen, you're gonna play these 2 tests here. You're gonna also play in Australia. So relax and play cricket the way that you know how to play cricket.
Facts.
As opposed to a man coming in there, you there's a short series and go and get this right. Because if we don't tap in these 4 and they say that's it, a man should never be feeling that. I'm not saying that that's what he's feeling. I'm not saying that that's what his selectors have told him or the management has told him. But I would hope that he was managed well in that process to know that you get him at least 2 series here. So relax and play cricket.
That's unlikely. That's unlikely.
Ain't that hard? But that's not that hard.
I agree. It's not that hard.
I ain't a genius, but that hard.
Unlikely, man.
They're not special about that message. That's not a TED talk.
I agree, but it's unlikely. You know how the West Indies culture is. Nobody want to get no promises
No promise, but you if you earn a pay, that's one thing that I like about Australia over the years. If Australia picks you, you perform well in state cricket, and Australia pick you. Australia give you a run. Australia will give you a run. Australia ain't gonna be there. After one season, am I looking over your shoulder? You can get a run in Australia, say, because you deserve. Because that's when you get selected, it should be because you deserve to be selected, you know. So after 3 innings or 4 innings, you can't be telling me, oh, this man is ready. You gotta give a man opportunity over a period of time.
So watch it now. But Devon Thomas is in this team, right? I can sure by the time we pick the next test team, he's not going to be in it.
It's very possible.
He's done nothing to enhance or lessen his chances.
Mm-hmm.
But the next time we pick a test team anywhere, Devon Thomas will probably.
It's possible because obviously you got Jason to come back in, so somebody that was on the outside will more likely lose the play. So better see your answer, Philip. Somebody will lose the play, but obviously Jason walks back into the 11. So
yeah, and as Clayton said just now, regarding Raymond, we feel like Raymond is someone who definitely will work hard and put in that fight to ensure he does what he has to do to stick around that setup at the highest level for a good period of time. As Nero said, that's the spot that opened up, and that's the spot that he was given. It's not maybe it's not a spot that he's had that much experience in the past, but you're trained at the highest level and you're expected to perform. But with the work effort that Rema has, I as Craig said, I'm hoping and I believe that he'll definitely find a way to score some runs, especially against a team like Bangladesh at home. Yeah, just wish him all the best in this second test. Earlier, one of the guys mentioned Kemar Roach. Well, I think we both spoke on him. No level with Michael Holding on 249 test wickets. Fellas, where do we put Kemar? He's now entering some pretty high in the water. Say it's swimming among some big sharks here now, and he's still going. You know what I mean? And when you look at Kemar's career, he had a pretty serious injuries, I should say, which would have caused them a yard or two off the pace. But when you look at Kemar's career, like I said, as someone who's still going, where do we rank Kemar Roach amongst the all-time greats, West Indian all-time greats? Does he know how the status of a legend, a West Indian fast-bowling legend?
Jason Carr, for me, it's very simple. Yes, he's a legend, but you see what happened is we are caught up in, I guess, the modern day media. The older people,
the eras. They
make no kudos back in my time, and Everything will be intertwined, victories and winning, those things are going to be intertwined too. You understand? So obviously, Kimar will not be that season win nothing. So they're gonna say, "Oh, he win this, he do that." When West Hall,
Charlie
Andy
Griffith.
Barber, and Charlie Griffith, Big Bird, they may do this, and which is fair. But these are different times, Jason Clark. And for me, I think it's harder when you were bowling for the last decade without an out and out sidekick. Because at the end of the day, bowling partnerships in tandem, Walsh and Ambrose. You know, it's partnership. The same way about batting partnership, the bowling partnerships are teams. So those guys had a lot of backup and high quality backups. Opposition sometimes in those times were as good. The Asian teams running for the fast bowling, etc. The Asian teams ain't running for fast bowling today like that. Nobody ain't really running for fast bowling like that with the exception of Wagner. You understand? But for me, for what he's been through, the period obviously started off bowling at 90, had to remodel his action, lines, and work more on his skill. West Indies have been in a horrible place, rebuilding forever. And for he to be the spearhead of that attack for many, many years, reinventing himself, what more can you ask of Kumar Walsh? In the last couple of years, and some away series, we've missed the plot and we've dropped him. Probably overtaking in cricket, or he in Sri Lanka, or he displaced. But without Kumar Walsh in these last 5-6 years, I don't know where West Indies cricket would have been. He's been right up there with the best of them. Not only West Indian, but he's been in the world. He's been up there with the best 5 bowlers in the world. So kudos to him. Hopefully we can get all the juice out of him for the next 2 to 3 years. Manage him. He looked like a fit fella. Obviously he'll be inspired by guys like Jimmy Anderson, still playing at 40 at this level, you know. So Kimar probably 34. Yeah, 34 or so. So you could probably still manage him properly. Could get 2-3 more years out of him and probably edge closer to 300 test wickets. And then what would this say?
Yeah, to be honest, Jace, I don't really like to get into the era talk. But the numbers and the stats don't lie. So he didn't play 250 games to get 250 wickets. He obviously did that within a very decent time. And as Nero said, for Kumar to carry the attack like he's done over the last couple of years, at times almost by himself, is a phenomenal achievement. Obviously, you know the injury setbacks that he's had to remodel his game in the way that he's done that. Legend status too is not just what you do on the field. All reports about Kumar Roach off the field as well. Shannon, we would have seen, the interviews. Well, I don't know if you guys would have seen them, but sometime at lunchtime or tea time, you would see the interviews and what's not. So they got a thing going on there and what's not. And Roach is a guy that would have been, pulling along a guy like Shannon, pulling along the younger fast bowlers, not just at international level, but locally as well too. So for me, when we're discussing legendary status, is all those things that like take into context, and he's done those things. So yeah, in my mind, no doubt about it. A guy can put in their numbers, be those things to his teammates, and people dispute whether he's a legend or not. It's a disgrace if anybody thinks otherwise.
Yeah, Clint, as you say, he often just look at, what these fellas might do on the field, personally, but when you look at sports in general, not only cricket, you look at somebody like LeBron James, what he has done for the people around him, you know what I mean? And even in listening to some basketball podcasts there, you know. And I mean, you can't knock Steph Curry for what he's done for the game. To be honest, he might change again. That's the truth. But people always do this comparing thing, and they were comparing, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, and the one this argument, this guy was saying, that what Steph has done for for the players around him, how he's that what he's done for the even the same Kevin Durant, what he's done for Draymond Green, what he's done for Clay, what he's done for the same Andrew Wiggins, so as you say, yes, these guys are great on their own, but when they can pull along the teammates with them and make the teammates, great as well. That's where you got next
That's the
level,
hallmark. That's the hallmark of a legend, just
next
that's the
next
hallmark of a legend.
yeah, next level players there, So yeah, kudos to keep on for reaching this milestone, and as as Stephen just said there, we definitely must give him all the time to reach that milestone of 300 test wickets, man. That
Hopefully,
yeah.
we treat the legends.
Nah,
Hopefully,
I can't see that. I can't see that.
my man,
I can't see that
you,
happening.
you see it already. You see
You
it
see
with
it
Sean
multiple.
Paul.
You see it
You
multiple
see
times.
it. Don't do
Yeah,
that, Jess. You've seen it. With Gail,
yeah,
you've seen it. So,
well, that's true. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve. I gotta rub down a little after you show, boy. Some Vicks for true. Some Vicks for true, boy. Quickly, fellas, so you see Chris Gale there in the row. I saw
mhm.
Gale there advertising a new format there supposed to be coming in the 60. I don't know if the guys
It's 10.
saw it there. Sounds pretty good, to be honest. And for me, I don't know what the guys think about it, but for me, I like it. I like the format of it. I like we getting a little more modern with the cricket. And like I say, it but definitely is more excitement. And like I say, yes, we still love the old traditional formats, the test cricket. And don't get me wrong, I love to watch some good test cricket. That's me. Obviously, I love the one days as we grew up on. I know T20 has been become a huge part of cricket in general. But the fact that we are trying to evolve and bring more versions of the game, I think it's good. I really like this idea. I don't know what the guys think about it, but me personally, I like this little change here. Nero, I don't know if you, I don't know. Let me hear you, Nero. What do you think
I
about it?
have no problem with new tournaments or the innovations.
Uh
But
huh.
for me,
Uh huh.
it's what is the end game? Example, I could see IPL end game is for India to
Art
have the
and game is
best
entertainment.
cricketer,
Entertainment. I ain't just honest with you.
right?
Entertainment.
So I can see the English. They now do the 100, and you can see it translating in their cricket. England there scored 500 runs the other day in the one-day game. You understand? So this enhancing their skill sets, yada yada yada. What is our end game with the 10-10? Is this to get best? But like Clint said, I know the answer, but that
Entertainment.
is it. I don't think it's not
Entertainment.
intertwined with taking West cities to this and that. But
Now
I
you're going too
just
deep there.
it is what it is. But hey, I can watch them. Once it's played correctly, it should be entertaining. But then what? When the maroon, that's what we all want to see. When upon the maroon, it translates. When they left the IPL and upon the blue, the players for India it translate. The English, oh Lord, is translate. No, make near 500 runs. You understand? So they obviously have plans, tactics, everything, and they're sticking to it, and they're taking again. They're taking again to the next level, and I'm sure them Australia, somebody will probably score 500 in the next year. Most likely England, with the way they play their cricket, very, very, very aggressive. By the time we can get a chance, I don't expect the first year to be spectacular in the T10. I guess there's where the game is heading anyway. 50 over gonna be in trouble shortly. But this is where the game is heading. 50 of us could be in trouble. They're probably gonna do something to revamp it, treat it like the Olympics strictly. But all those series and team man playing 5,
And bilateral series, I think you
then
get
they
cut.
can just be watered down, yeah. So you can probably
Actually,
want
me already
T10
talk
work.
about the me already talk about cutting the T20 bilateral series. Man say
Yeah,
the man Ravi Shastri already saying cut that out. Just play T20
T-
World Cups and that's it. So
yeah. So T10 is the next step, and they can see it just be a lot of double headers. T10, you got get 4 teams in there, 2 double headers, entertainment at highest level. I could just see that's where the game heading. T10 cricket, with T20 being the new one-day cricket. I could see
for,
that.
for me, I'm not against it, but I ain't for it either. I just start somewhere in the middle. It is neither here nor there for me. That's the
But
honest to God truth. Because of what I think the intent behind it is. So it is entertainment. So same thing with CPL. So you got people, oh, I got to get a CPL ticket. Barbados playing Trinidad, blah, blah, I got to be doing it. That's nothing here and there for me. That's just entertainment. So Barbados, I mean, yes, you want some of the guys that you know personally to do well, but in the grand scheme of things, if Barbados Royals lose a game, lose first 2 CPR games, you ain't see me walking up Broad Street cursing, carrying on, because that's just cricket for entertainment purposes, and that's it. Entertainment done. That's the end. So this
and,
cricket to me can be more pretty much like that, huh?
and why I believe that is where cricket heading, because at the end of the day, the bigger cricket gets when it comes to like TV deals and thing, marketing. You may want the short format of the game to
Yeah,
market the
correct,
game.
correct.
So when the sponsors show the money behind T10, that's the end of that.
And
That's
it's
the end of that.
probably easier for that to fit into things like Olympics or Commonwealth
Correct.
Games or what's not. So yeah, that time back into to all that things. So
Players can say, oh, easier on their bodies, go to overs, this and that. So
exposing some men that may not get exposed
and
differently.
and and, and that's where for me I like the idea of it. It would give guys, that probably would never, love cricket and had the talent, but probably would not, go on to, represent, like, say, West Indies or whatever the case may be, and it would, I just think, give the opportunity for a guy, to play some good entertaining cricket. And as you said, Clay, it makes it easier to know to, like, big competitions and big sporting events, and
Yeah,
have, cricket be a part of the sporting calendar, amongst other other top sporting events in the world. So that and it's like I said, it's very entertaining. So for me, I'm all for it, man. And as time evolve, certain things, you just got to accept that things, like certain things, sports as well, will evolve. I mean, like, even with basketball, last year we had, with the whole playing tournament and thing. No, so I mean, like, other things will be added to these sports, and for me, I'm all for it. That's the truth.
my biggest hope coming out of that is that some guys get some exposure that like I said that would not have gotten that other ways. That would be I would be happy if that was the end result. To be honest, so and like you said, a guy could then go off one day and play T10 in Dubai or go and play
Correct.
somewhere in Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, and a guy's career could kickstart from that. So that would be my hope coming out of that. But I don't think there are a lot of other. I don't think we really settle other ways for that to be anything that is going to improve our overall cricket product. So yeah, like I said, I just hope that some guys get some exposure and go on to have a career and make a living um, as a result of that tournament.
Okay. Uh, well, any other closing remarks before we shut off tonight, guys?
Oh man,
good man. Fifth test coming up, England versus India. India, the underdogs. once again,
Oh
difficult conditions.
Jesse could cut it short.
I
man.
Cut it.
guess
Just cut it. Just cut
whatever happens. Test probably done in a day.
it.
Or best of West Indies.
uh-huh.
Yeah, England and New Zealand tomorrow, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
some cricket coming, man. Some cricket coming.
Eh,
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see this last question here. Why is T20 can invest in this cricket but making other teams better? Hmm. That is a good question, because you said earlier, when we put on when in the IPL when the Indians put on go back and they put on the blue, they perform at a high level, but when we come back and put on the maroon, we necessarily don't perform at a high level. And we do have a pretty heavy contingent in the West Indian contingent in the IPL. So, that's a pretty valid question here.
It's T20 cricket.
Culture.
My question is T20 cricket is what is killing West Indies, or was West Indies cricket
Day before.
dead or dying before T20
Yeah, way
cricket came
before.
about? Because
Way
that
before.
yeah, so I wouldn't say that is killing West Indies. Maybe it's made it a little bit worse, but West Indies cricket was well on the way before T20 cricket was a thing. But it comes down to the same thing we discuss all the time and go around in circles about infrastructure. So
Yeah.
you look at what forwards in your child in the UK or in Australia or India is doing versus what a 14-year-old child here in Barbados is doing in terms of their application towards cricket. It is night and day. It is night and day. So you cannot compete with that. I was actually having a conversation last night with a guy, Ryan O'Neill. I think he played Barbados on the 19, Tariq O'Neill's dad. And he was saying when they went to England to play some series or a World Cup or whatever it is that they went over there to play, he had zero first class games along with a lot of his teammates. And he's playing against guys like Truscott and then that already notched up 30 something first class games or 47 first class games. Like how
Oh,
you
you gonna
compete?
compete?
How you competing with that? How are you competing with that?
Pretty sure
So
that man had that Raji cut and then things under their belt. You know what I'm saying?
when they would play against Brooks and them in the under 19 World Cup, Brooks and them probably with a handful of first class games at that point. And man,
The
you playing against
Kohli
man
thing.
that it's man that established already in first class cricket in their country. So how you competing with that? So I wouldn't say it's killing it. I what I would say about our T20 cricket is that we have not evolved enough our game enough. So when it first came out, we had the best hitters, we had some decent bowlers, and we dominated that. But guys have planned and
Improve
prepared
the
for yeah
skills.
a lot more. They've done their homework on our batters and our styles. So we have not evolved, and everyone else around us has. So that's what I would say about RC20 cricket.
For me, it's different cultures, and obviously the pay you got. The Indians can't play in any other leagues, so the amount of money they make from just the IPL, they don't have to. And then obviously you have hundreds of players competing for 11 spots. I guess no India have two teams, so you know 22, 24 spots. So they know, well, my performance is gonna be peak all the time. The same with England, the same with Australia. The money is there, so they don't gotta worry about they can get $1 million a year. Then good. So let me focus and concentrate on cricket, improve my skills. Where in the West Indies, it's just a revolving door, and the money is not to that level. 150,000 to 250,000 probably a year. You're going to fend for yourself, the other leagues, etc. Conditions, the tournaments, just everything. Like CPL gonna play here now before their competition starting in January. Take a break for a couple months. No finish. You start playing home and you start playing in the territories of the home team, and then you ended playing all the games in Trinidad. And in 2022, I don't think West Indies cricket and the structure cricket should be. These things shouldn't be an issue. Like, these things should be fixed in a budget somewhere, or like our first class cricket is priority. Like not in 2022, we should be penny pinching for your first class cricket. So for me, these things is a joke, and we reap what we sow.
Sad
Very
guys.
good point. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Sad guys. Well, you just wanna before we go, thank the viewers once again for continuing to tune in each and every week. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe whenever you do watch this video. Thank you very much and have a good night.